Yeah, let's start. We are a small group today, but it's okay as far as you can learn something today. And well, we will have the recording, so if people couldn't attend today, they can see the recording. Okay, so well, first thing, welcome. Okay, Jessica and Rune. Well, I don't know how to pronounce Rune or Rune. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, so well, as I was telling you before, today is an advanced webinar for people who already know how to use MobbingCube. Okay, because we are going to talk about how to store data in your apps. Okay, so even you can store data on a database or just in memory. Okay, so you can use that data in later in the future when you open the app. Okay, so I know this is going to be probably difficult to understand sometimes, and even difficult to explain. Okay, because well, MobbingCube is supposed to be for non-programmers, but storing data is something that programmers do all the time. So I hope we can explain it like in an easy way. Okay, so well, we have anyone, Genesaret, welcome. Yeah, I was saying Genesaret that today is going to be an advanced webinar. Okay, so if you have questions, we are a small group, so if you can have questions, you can stop me all the time and tell me to repeat something. Okay, I'm only using one screen today, so I won't read the chat all the time, but I will switch my screen, okay, my window, so that if you have questions, you can always ask me. Okay, well, let me introduce myself. My name is Ignacio Roda. I'm based in San Francisco in the United States. I'm the co-founder of MobbingCube. Normally it's me who offers this type of webinars, especially when it comes to English language. Okay, so yeah, if you have any questions sometime and you need to contact someone here in the States, then you can always contact me. Okay, unless it's for technical issues, something's not working, you should contact the support department. Okay, so yeah, let's start. First, I'm going to explain how to use things, okay, regarding user data or how to store data, okay, and then new functions that we added in MobbingCube, like the action set and request, okay, and then we will start working on some example, okay. As you know, in the past or until now, MobbingCube was great. We have to say that, but you could only create apps for offering content to your users, okay, like tourist guides or one app for your business, like a restaurant or or game guides, cooking receipt guides, basically, or tutorials. Basically, it was like offering content to the user, okay. So the interactivity with the user was quite limited. You could add some things in HTML if you were a developer, but basically you couldn't interact a lot with the user. So a lot of people used to come to MobbingCube because they wanted to create like a super app for uploading pictures and sharing content and add comments, things like that, like mini social networks. And that couldn't be done with MobbingCube, but now this year we are working in a new direction with MobbingCube. So our intention is that you can create like this type of super apps in the near future, okay? So one of the first actions we're taking is user data, okay? So you can store data in the app, okay? And soon we will add new features like uploading pictures or add more complexity with that data, okay? So yeah, after explaining that, I will start like working on one example, okay? I want to create some kind of encyclopedia for beer, for example, okay? So today it will be very basic, but in the future, as far as we start adding more functionality for improving that interactivity, then we will keep with the same example in the future, and we will finish creating like one super app so that anyone can access this large database of beers and make comments and things like that. Okay, so yeah, let's start talking about that and go to the example. I mean, go to the theory. Okay, so yeah, let me share my screen first, of course. Well, I assume, Genesaret, that you don't speak English. You need a translator for Spanish. Well, yesterday we had the same webinar in Spanish. I guess it's recorded. Okay, so you can check that in case you need Spanish translation. Okay, or you can make me question. I also speak Spanish, but you can make questions after the webinar in case you need to clarify something in Spanish. Okay. Okay, can you see my screen? Okay, now you see moving cube, right? Oh, Sonny, I didn't see you coming. Hi, nice to see you again. Okay, so yeah, as I was saying, I'm going to see only my moving cube screen. So if you have questions in the chat, I won't read them. I mean, maybe every 3 minutes or 5 minutes, I will sweep my screen and see if you have some questions. Okay, but it's okay for now. Well, first, I'm going to explain how to use or what's the user data. Okay. As you know, or I guess as you know, you can use some variables or some data from the device. Okay. Remember that in some places in MovingCube, for example, when you create one action for sharing content or for opening a URL, for example, you can add some values, or we can go to MovingCube and see examples. For example, let me create one screen. Let's add a detail screen. One text, for example. Okay. And when you have an element, you can use one action. Okay, URL. And I don't know if you know this compositor thing that we added 2 weeks ago, but basically you can add things to your parameter of this action. Imagine that you have some script. Okay, and you can add, let's see if it works. Yeah, you can add some device data. Okay, so normally you use, for example, the location. Oh, there's some bug here. No. Okay, so you have some variables or from the device that you can use between curly brackets. Okay, so this will, I mean, the app will replace something from the device, in this case, the location. Okay, let me show you more values. Okay, you have this list of variables that you can use in some places of your app. Okay, like the OS version, language, screen size, country. Okay, so if you use this between curly brackets, the app will replace the value. It will take the value from the phone and put it here, there. Okay, so well, those are like always the same values. Okay, but now you can use your own values. Okay, you can add your own values to the app and store data. I mean, only for the session. I mean, while the app is running, or you can also save like cookies. You know the websites that they are always saying things of cookies. So cookies are some data that you store locally. So next time you open the app or the website, the browser will have that information already. Okay. So someone's calling. Sorry for that. So yeah, now you can use your data and how to do it. So basically, you have two ways to do it. Okay. Normally, you will use curly brackets if you want to use that value uh, inside a parameter of an action. Okay. But you have two type of data that you can store. Okay. Well, you can use your own name for that value, or like phone number, for example. Okay. But there's a way to tell the app if that value is going to be stored temporarily only for the session, or if it's going to be like a cookie. Okay, so for later use. Okay, so the way to do it is you can use bar.phone. Okay, so if this value will be temporary. Okay, so if I use this value, I can store things in this value. Okay, so I can store one phone number and use it in another screen of the app. Okay, that's kind of cool, right? Because in the past you couldn't do it. You couldn't share info from one screen to another. Okay, but now you can save data in this value. Okay, in bar.phone. Okay. Uh, if you close the app, then this value will be removed from memory. Okay, but if you want to keep that value, you can use this. Okay. So if you add some value inside cookie.phone, okay, and you close the app, then you open the app tomorrow, okay, then this value will be still in the memory of the phone. Okay, so yeah, you can, I mean, and those are different values. Okay, you can use phone with cookie.phone and bar.phone in the same app. Okay, but the app will consider those to be different. Okay, so the whole name or the ID is the whole combination with bar.phone or cookie.phone. So here I have two different values. Okay. So yeah, this is the basics. Okay, this is the general idea, and now we are going to see how to store value. Okay, so let me check the chat. Okay, no questions. Okay, let's go to Moving Cube. So, well, now we have 3 ways to store value. Okay, in the future we will add more ways, but now you have 3 ways to start something. Okay, in some variable. The first one is with a field. Okay, with a text field. Okay, I'm not sure if you have used text fields in your detail screens in the past. Okay, but basically those fields are for the user to write some data. Okay, normally if you have a form, a contact form in your app, you add some text fields. Okay, and then in the past you could only use that information for submitting something to a server. Okay, but now you can use these text fields only for storing local data or local cookies. Okay, so normally in the past you would put here a reference name, like name, for example. Okay, and that's all. So that way it would store the value here in this reference. Okay, but it was only valid for this screen. Okay, but now you can write here bar.name. Okay, and let me let's see the example how it works. Okay, okay, I have bar, and I'm going to add a cookie. And this one is going to be called cookie.name. Okay, so we have one text field for cookie.name and one text field for bar.name. Okay, then I will add some buttons here for next. And some background color. Okay, and then we will go, if they click here, I'm going to open a new screen called text. Okay, and okay, so this screen will automatically store values. I mean, if the user writes something here or here, that text will be stored in a variable. Okay, so we will be able to use that data in other screen. Okay, I'm going to show you. So let's edit the next screen. Let's put another detail screen. Okay, and here you can write something. Hi there. You enter these values bar, and you can inside your own text element, you can use data stored in some of these variables. Okay, so yeah, you can just use curly brackets. Your user variable, sorry, won't be here in the compositor. Okay, so if you open the compositor, you won't see your personal values. Okay, but you can just use curly brackets. Okay, and the app will replace the value. Okay, so well, here's our first example. Let's see what happens. We have to set this one as the first. Okay. Let me check if everything is correct. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to publish the app and we will see what happens. Okay. I'm going to publish it instead of making a preview, so that if you have an Android device, you oh, main screen has no view. Oh, okay. One moment, I have to add some view here. Well, because I already created one screen, okay, for the later example. So let me add this view, and let's add some text here. Okay. And then it says something about invalid reference. I forgot that. I don't know why it didn't save the reference name. Cookie.name. I didn't press enter, I guess. Okay, now it's correct. Let's go to publish. Okay, it's going to be like 3 minutes for publishing the app. Okay, in the meantime, I will explain other ways to store data. Okay, let's see if it's working. Okay, let's go to edit. Let me check questions. Any questions for now? Is everything clear or? Okay, I said yes, good, perfect. Okay, because I mentioned in the beginning that this might be difficult not only to understand but also to explain. Okay, so yeah, I hope I don't do it that bad. Okay, so that's the first way to save data in your variable. Okay, so there's a second way, which is a new action that we added to the Moving Cube. Well, I guess I can add another button here. Save number. This is going to be the text. Okay, let's use another color. Okay, so I want to store something when someone clicks on this button. Okay, so I will select the action set. Okay, and now you have to add the parameter of the action. So basically, it's formed by two parts. Okay, first thing you have to say or tell MovingCube where to store something. Okay, so yeah, you can use curly brackets and, for example, use a temporary value var dot number. Okay, this is getting too technical. I know. Maybe if you are a programmer, then you will understand it in the first minute. But if not, it might be a bit confusing. Okay, but basically the action set is for setting a value into a variable. Okay, so first we tell MovingCube where to store that value. Okay, using curly brackets in case you want to save it into a variable. Okay, we'll see later that you can also save data in a database. Okay, so, well, basically, you will use parentheses and the name of the column of the database, but, well, that's not for now. Okay, so after the name of the reference where you want to store the data, you have to use the equal sign, okay, and then the value. Okay, so we can use, for example, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so if someone clicks on this button, then the value 1, 2, 3 will be stored in the variable called var.number. Okay, this is a session variable. Okay, so yeah, so this is the second way, quite easy. Let's see a third way. Just copying and pasting in order to save time. Save number from server. Okay, so this is going to be another way. Okay, let me change the color. Okay, see questions. Okay, no questions. Okay, so the third way to store data in a variable is getting it from a server. Okay, so there was an action in MovingCube. It was a bit hidden, so you could only use it in some places. I think only on timers. Okay, but this action is called request, and here you can add a URL. Okay, so, well, I made this simple script. Okay, it's really easy. Well, basically, if you know PHP, it's the server. Here's the source code. It's only like responding with some random number between 0 and 10. Okay, so see, if I call this URL, I get a number. Okay, from the server. Okay, so I want to use this number in my app. So I'm going to copy the URL. Okay, so, well, in the past, the action request was only for sending data to a server. Okay, in case you wanted to do some checking or something like that, you could notify the server about something. Or, I mean, if you wanted to keep track of your users in the app, you could do something like that. Okay, but now the action request is also valid for storing data on a variable. Okay, so I don't know if I tried this action before. It's supposed to be, well, to be honest, I haven't tried it, so I'm not sure if it's working the way it was supposed to be, but let me check. var.server, it's supposed to be something like this, but I don't have done it today for confirming. Oh, my mistake for not checking before, but it's supposed to work something like that. But again, I'm not really sure about this. Okay, if I'm wrong, then I will try to keep you updated. Okay, and in the same page of bigmarket.com, in the page of this conference, I will add a comment and I will try to not clarify that. Okay, so not sure if this will work. But that's the third way to do it. Okay. Let me check if they added the help. Oh, not yet. Normally Danny is here with me, but not today, so sorry for that. Okay, so this is the third way. Okay, in the near future, we will add more ways. Now you can store like text or numbers in your variables. Okay, but soon you will be able to store even pictures. Okay, so we are going to add this action for taking a picture from the camera or from the gallery. Okay, and those pictures will be stored in variables. Okay, so you will be able to send it to a server or things like that. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to add these values also here in this text. Server will be part server, and the other one was number, right? Number var dot number. Well, I have to republish again in order to see this, but well, we are going to check first the previously published version. Okay, now it's ready. I'm going to use my phone, okay, and then I have this app called Visor, so you can see my screen. So I'm going to scan it. And we will see what happens with the difference between cookies and bars. Okay. Download. Okay. Is this one? Can you see my phone? I'm not sure if I'm sharing the whole screen or only one window. Can you confirm if you see my phone screen? Okay, perfect. Okay, so I'm opening the app. Well, let me go and republish. So what? In the meantime, while we see the example number 1, we are going to publish the second example. Okay, so I don't know. I click on an advertisement. Sorry. I'm trying to access the app. Okay. Okay, so here I have the app. So I have these 2 text fields where I can write things. I can write here. So yeah, let's add my name, Ignacio, and as a cookie, I will add my last name, for example. Okay. So I have entered these 2 different texts. So if I click next, I see the ad, of course. Okay, and see the second screen. Hi there, you enter these values. So the bar is the first text field, Ignacio, and the cookie is Rhoda. Okay, so you see I send some content from one screen to another, and that's something really new on MobbingCube, right? So let's see, I'm going to close the app now. Okay, and I'm going to open it again. And see, so if you have a text field and it uses data from a variable, okay, if that variable is already defined and has value, okay, by default, the text field will show that value. Okay, so you see I opened the app for the second time, and the first text field has a reference, which is a var dot name. Okay, that means that it's only a session variable. So the value is only there while I'm using the app. But if I close the app, then all the bars are removed from memory. Okay, so I open the app again. So I haven't, in this session, I haven't entered a value for var.name, so I don't see anything here. But check the second one. You see, I didn't write anything now, but you see Rhoda. Okay, you see my last name here. That's because it was a cookie. Okay, first time I opened the app, I set a value for that cookie. Okay, so it was stored on the phone. Okay, so it was permanent. I close the app, I can open the app again, and I still have that value. Okay, so that's something really new for MobileQ. Okay, so if I click next, I haven't entered a name. So you enter these values. Bar is empty because I haven't written anything, and cookie has still the value. So I can change and write something like John, for example. If I click next, I have this value here. You see how cool it is? Or I can change Roda 2, Roda 2, okay? And I will close the app again. And I will open. Okay, and I have the cookie values still on memory, right? Okay, so let's see. I know it's great, okay, but still, we are going to add more features that will allow you to do like more complex things, okay? So because now you need to first store the value and then have a different button for changing the screen, okay? But in the near future, we will add more things so that you can do complex things. For example, now with the value, you can basically show it in a different screen as we did now, or you can send it to a server or as a parameter of some action, or you can even use it as a value on a filter for a database. Okay, so that's pretty good enough. But in the future, we want to let you like modify the life cycle of the app depending on the variables. Okay, so you will be able to add conditions. Okay, so imagine, okay, that you want to show one image only if the cookie has the value 1. Okay, so yeah, you will be able to do this logic inside your app without programming. Okay, and that's going to be quite soon, I think. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, the new version is ready. Let me scan again. Well, maybe I don't need to scan. I already had the URL. Anyway, I'm downloading the new version. Okay. Well, I'm updating the app, so I think the cookie will be stored there, even if it's a new version, because I didn't delete all the cookies, but let's check. I'm going to open the app. You see, the cookie still has the value. Okay, so this is pretty cool because you can store data, and even if the user updates, or even if you update the app, okay, and users install the new version, okay, all the values stored permanently in the app. Oh, this advertisement, I don't think it's legal, but okay. Okay, so even if you update the app, all the cookies will be still there. Okay, so that's super cool. Okay, so now let me add this value, Asio, and I have the next button. I have the save number, so I'm going to click it. We don't see anything happening right now, but we'll see if something happened. Okay. And then I'm going to click Save Number from Server. I'm not sure if this is going to work. Maybe it crashes the app. Oh, no, maybe it's working. Okay, so I'm supposed to have some values gotten from the server. Let's click on Next. No. Well, the value from the server didn't work. Maybe that was not the way to do it. As I told you, I will ask my colleagues and see how they did it on the interface. Okay, so yeah. But I have the bar, the cookie, and I have the number. You see the action set that worked. Okay, I have the number. Okay, so yeah, we'll see. Let's go to edition and let's do something even better. Okay. Let's see if there are questions. Oh, yeah, there are questions. Let me read them. We can send or call to our database. Yeah, you can. Yeah, with the set action, that's something that we are going to do now. Okay, in the example, in the beer example, that's something we are going to do. So you can store data in the database only if it's local. Okay, we haven't developed yet how to add data on a remote database. Okay, but yeah, but if it's a local database, you can store data. Okay, let's do it now. Okay, well, I have this. Let me change set lagger. Okay, I told you I'm going to do like a beer database. Okay, so I'm going to have this bar.type, and I will set the value lagger. Okay, so and when I click next, I'm going to go to the main screen, which is a database. Okay, let's edit that database. So I already have a database created. Okay, just to save time. It's a really small database. I have 5 beers. I have 2 wheats, 1 pilsner, and 2 lagers. Okay, so I'm going to create a list. Well, one of the values is my note. Okay, so well, basically this app is supposed to have like a large database of beers. So the user will have this database on the phone, and he can get info about the beer, like ingredients or some picture or something. You know, if he goes to a restaurant and there's this beer list, and yeah, you want to have some extra information about each one of these beers, of those beers, sorry. Then the user will open the app and check the database, look for that beer, see some comments, okay? But the good thing is that he will be able to set a note or a review for that app only for personal use, okay? So in this first version, okay, he will be able to remember if he liked the beer. Okay, imagine that I ordered this Budweiser and I liked it, so I want to give like a 5 stars review for myself. Okay, so that's why I have this column called my note. Okay, so well, first I'm going to add the list. Let's remove this element. Add a table. I only need, I think, one. Well, I can have this 10% and 90%. So basically, I'm going to add the name. Well, the brewery. small, maybe this color, and then I'll have the name, small, and this color. Okay, that's enough for now. I'm going to add a background. Really light. Okay, and then I'll have another. Oh no, I'm going to add here another column, and I'm going to use my note. Okay, so here I'm going to make it medium size, and let's center it in the middle. Okay, so I will have the list of all the beers, and I will get my note on the right side. So yeah, if then I will know if I like that beer or not. Okay. So let's add a detailed view with more info about each one of these beers. So for the whole row, I will use the action go to view. I know that everything looks too big. Not everything is fitting the screen. Okay, that's because I'm using a really low resolution. Okay, because since we are recording this webinar, okay, I wanted to use the standard video size, which is 1280 pixels times 720. Okay, that's why sometimes things don't fit the screen. Okay, but that's only because this low resolution. So yeah, the destination will be detail one. Okay, let's go to edit. I'm going to add the image in the middle, then brewery, small, this color, the name, small, middle. Then I will add the description in tiny font. Well, I don't need to add everything now, okay? But the thing is that I'm going to add a column, or a table, sorry, with some images. Okay, and let's make it small in the middle. And then I'm going to add, I have some images. I will add this star. Okay, so the first one. Second one. Okay. Okay, I have these 5 pictures. Okay, so basically, if they click on the first one, I want to set the value 1. My note will be 1. If they click on the second one, will be 2. Okay, so it's the action set. And now you can use, well, you can use the compositor and use beers.myNote with parentheses. Okay, so this will save the value in the database. Okay, so beers. Okay, so this is the first one. And for the second one, I'm going to use set. What will be 2. Well, this will save the value in the selected item of the database. Okay, so if you have like 10 items in the database and you picked one with the list view, then that one will be the selected one. Okay, so if you stored something in a column, it will be stored only for that item. Okay. 4 and 5 and 9. I know what you're thinking. Um, or I guess you are asking in your minds that could you do something to have like empty stars and only if I click them then they will be like full solid color? The answer is not yet. Okay, you cannot modify these pictures depending on a value on some variable. Okay, but that's something that we will add soon. Okay, in the next maybe 1-2 months. I hope that's already there. Okay, so you will be able to show the empty star or the full star depending on the value. Okay, so and that will be really cool. Okay, and yeah, I can add then. No, let me remove this. Okay, yeah, then well, I think we can try this. Okay. Yeah, let's go to publish. See. Okay. Let's see how it works. And okay, it will take some minutes. Okay, again, let me check something. I haven't tried something, but it should work. And if it doesn't work, I will report it to our technical team, and it might be a bug. Okay, but something that you will be able to do, I hope it works again. So something like here, for example, we set a value, like we entered this value here in Momiki, we put a 3, okay? So what if we want to store, here, let me add, store database on bar, or on example. This is like super advanced, and I hope it works. Okay, so I'm going to try this, and we will see if it works. Okay, if they click on this button, I want to add action set. Well, viewers or yeah, I will use the name, but I want to store the name of the selected beer on a user variable. Okay, on the cookie, for example, cookie.name. So if they click on this beer, on this button, okay, I want to store the value on that variable. Okay, I'm not sure if this is going to work, but again, it should work. Okay, and if not, it's a bug. Okay, we will try. Okay, so this way you can use data from the database in other screens for doing something. Okay, in the future, you will be able also to make calculations. So if you have one value, one user variable that stores one number, and then you have one user variable that stores a different number, okay, you will be able to make calculations. Okay, so for making temperature conversion apps or currency converters or things like that. Okay, so it's going to be really cool. Okay, and that will be done during this year. Okay, so we are working really hard this year for offering this type of functionalities, so you will be able to create like amazing apps. Okay, we are also working on a brand new interface that will make everything much more easy to use. Okay, so yeah, this year is going to be awesome. Okay, let's see if it's published. Not yet. I guess it will take like one more minute. Any questions in the meantime? No, no questions. Okay, let's see. Well, another thing that you can do. Okay, let's edit. I'm going to edit while it's being published, and then we will publish again while we see the example. Okay, so I'm going to use those values, those user values as a filter in a database. Okay, that this is getting more and more complex, right? So I had this button that save value logger into the variable called var.type. Okay, so we will go to the database, and I'm going to add one filter. And well, I don't know if all of you, I think Sonny, you were there, but I'm not sure if the others were there. We had a webinar talking about dynamic filters, like 1 month ago, maybe. Okay, so that was a really huge improvement for MobbingCube for handling with databases. Okay, if you haven't seen that webinar, you should. Okay, it's a great way to have like relational databases or almost relational. Okay, so you can create dynamic menus and add filters like depending on the user selection or things like that. So that's kind of cool. Okay, so today we are going to take the same thing, the dynamic filters, but we're going to use user variables. Okay, so let's add a condition. We want the field or the column type to include I cannot write, var dot type. Okay, I'm using, I know it's too small, but I'm using curly brackets to tell the app that I'm using my own variable value. Okay, so I'm using curly brackets var.type. Okay, and this should have a value. Okay, okay, so let's use this filter and let's republish again. And let's see if it's already published. Okay, so this version is ready. Oh, keeps. Okay, I have the new version ready. Replace file, and well, let's publish a new version while we install this one. Next version will be with a filter. Okay, but oh, you were there. Sorry, Jessica. It's always hard to remember all names. We have 1 million users. But well, Sonny is more familiar because I've talked with him sometimes, and he has been on almost every webinar since 2 years ago. So I'll try to remember you next time, Jessica. Okay, so no, I didn't install the new version. Sorry. Um, okay, so this is the new version here. Okay, open. Okay, so, well, I don't care about this screen. I'm just going to go to the database. I will click on next. I should have removed. Okay, so I have these 5 viewers. I don't have any note. What is happening with these ads? They are clicking themselves. I'm not touching them. Well, maybe it's because, well, my screen phones is broken. So maybe it's because of that. Maybe it's touching itself. That sounds weird. um, okay, so I'm going. I don't have any notes here on the right because I didn't click on any star yet. So I'm going to use the Snyder Visa. I love this beer, by the way. Okay, so I have this screen. I see. I know that now with 5 stars, people might think that I already gave 5-star review. Okay, that's not really true. Okay, but again, we will have this new element in the near future for adding some content depending on the value of some variable. Okay, so I will be able to add these stars changing depending on my node. Okay, so I'm going to click, for example, the 5. Okay, well, at least I saw that I clicked. Okay, so if I go back, I guess I see it. Wow, this is even better than I expected. I thought I would need to refresh the screen, the whole screen, but it worked. Okay, you see now that I have this value. Okay, and well, I can use Samuel Adams. That's also a nice beer, but I'm not a. I know it's lager, but for me it's more like an IPA because I'm European and our lagers are milder. Um, So yeah, I gave 4. Okay, so now I'm going to close the app. Oh, now I have advertisement. Skip ad. Close. Okay, so I'm going to open the app again. Go to next. Again, more advertisement. And I hope it works. You see? Oh, yeah. I have still the values in the database. Okay, so that's like something great for MovingCube that we have this feature now. Oh, again. Sorry. No, not here. Your PDF. Okay, so yeah, you see that now if I can create this app with 1,000 beers or wines or any other objects. Okay, so this is for personal use. Or, I mean, not for the creator of the app, but you can publish this app, and anyone who installs this app will have this large database. Well, not this one. This one only has 5, but they will be able to go to a restaurant and I want to order this beer. I see the description. It's kind of my style. Okay, so I will order this beer, and then if I like it, I will give 5 stars, or if I don't like it, maybe I give 1 or 2. Okay, so in the future, I can remember if I like that beer or not. Okay, so that's something that you couldn't do in the past with MovingQ, but this is a brand new type of apps that you can create. Okay, so yeah, I guess this is only the beginning, as I said. Okay, this is only one example. I guess you are thinking of other examples that you can already do with these things. Okay, so I'm going to see if, yeah, it's already published. So I'm going to install the final version. Oh, by the way, I think I can remove advertisement here, no, here in info. Yeah, I have in this account the standard plan, I think. So Yeah. Oh, I should have done this from the beginning. Okay. Yeah, we have the new version already, so I'm going to install. Okay. And now we're going to check if storing data from the database into a variable, a user variable, works. Okay. And okay, replace file, and let me check. I think there was a question. Happy that you are in San Francisco. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that, those. Well, maybe we're doing these webinars in the morning now. I'm not sure if it's the ideal time for for US users. We're doing them in the morning in the USA so that other countries in Europe who don't speak Spanish, uh, it's not really late for them. Okay, maybe we should start doing webinars like at 4 p.m. in USA, something like that. But we'll see. Okay, and Fabian says if it will be available in Spanish. Yeah, well, I think yesterday we had another webinar, almost the same, not the same example, okay, because I made this by my own, but our colleague Daniel Reef, I'm not sure if you know him, he's the manager in the support team. So he offered this webinar talking about the action set, request, variables. Okay, so yeah, I guess it's recorded. If you go to bigmarket.com/mobbingcube and then go to conferences, I guess you can find the yesterday's webinar there. Okay. Okay, so let's see this one. Okay, open. Okay, now if I click next, I will go to the same screen. Oh, no results. Okay, yeah, that's right. Because I have a filter. Okay, and since bar.type is empty, then I don't get results in the filter. Okay, but if I click on set lagger, then I just save the value lagger in the value, in the variable, okay, in bar.type. Okay, so if I click on next, okay, now I see, you see, this is quite amazing, right? Now I have two lagger beers, okay, because I set the value. So you can use your user variables in dynamic filters, okay? And why would you need that? Because now you can create advanced search in your databases, okay? Remember in the past, you could add a search bar for your database, but it was only valid for one column. Okay, you could define the column for the search, and users could only search by name or by phone or by type or something like that. Okay, but now you can create like one view or one bar, and you can add like different text fields or different buttons. Okay, so yeah, maybe if we have time we can do a small example. Okay, but now I'm going to click on Budweiser, for example. And now I have this button, store DB on cookie. So we're going to see if it works. Okay. I'm going to click it, and I'm supposed to have saved my review. It was my review or the name of the beer as a cookie. Okay. So if I go back, maybe it didn't work, or well, maybe I have to refresh the screen. Let's try to open the app again. Yeah. Okay. This might be a small bug on MovingCube. Okay, because when you are in this screen and you go to the next screen, there's a history of screens like in your internet browser, right, that you can click back. So if you go back to a previous screen, then it's not refreshed. So it's just as it was when you left that screen. Okay, so that's why the cookie, I mean, the text field wasn't updated. Okay, I guess we can fix that. But the important thing is that we save a value from the database into a cookie. Okay, so you can use that value for next times. Okay, so you can use that, for example, if you create like a book. Okay, so like a book style app, and you want to save, for example, imagine that it has like 50 pages, okay, and you want the user or the app to remember the last page of the book or the page that the user was reading. Okay, you can store the number of the page on a cookie, and then next time you open the app, you can create a dynamic filter and tell the app that you want to open the page number 20. I mean, the one that was recorded in a cookie. Okay, so that's also quite good, right? Okay, so let me read the questions. Will we be able to connect, send a call to a Google Sheet someday? Sorry if I haven't pronounced the word sheet correctly. It's always a problem with, I guess it's sheet. Send and call. You mean like save data in a Google Sheet? Well, that's a good question. I don't know. I guess Google has some API so that you can store data in some file remotely. Okay, so if you have the skills to create some script and access that document, okay, then I guess you can do it now. I mean, you can use data from the app, send it to a script. You can get those parameters in the script, and if you have access to that Google Sheet, then yeah, you can store them there, I guess. I'm not sure if I answered the question. Okay. Next one, will you make user management? Yes, will do. Okay. Well, the thing is that we already added last year one feature that allows you to do that. Okay. If you have some HTML skills, you can already do that. You can use a web screen, and you can do it. You can use local content in HTML. So there are some examples. Or if you send an email to support, maybe they can explain. I think we have some webinar recorded in bigmarket.com explaining how to do user login. Okay, it's an easy HTML module. Okay, so and you can use some backend as a service like Firebase, or you can use backendless.com, or you can use mobac.com. I mean, there are plenty of backends as a service, okay, and they offer JavaScript SDK. So you can take the JavaScript SDK and put it inside your web module, okay, and that way you can, yeah, have a user management system, okay. Well, that's if you have some HTML knowledge. But again, I said at the beginning that this year we are working on adding a lot of features that will allow you to make incredible apps. And one of the features will be the social login. Okay, so yeah, we will add, I hope, soon, well, at least this year, we will add the Facebook login, Google login, maybe Twitter login, okay, so that you will be able to have this user management, okay. And also with the functionality that we did today, okay, you can use bars and send those bars to a server, okay. So if you have some script to validate the user, user and password, then you can start making your own user management thing without programming. Okay. Maybe now it's a bit tricky, and you will need the same functionality that I explained about the stars changing. Okay, like some minutes ago. Okay. This is going to be a new element that you will be able to add to your detail screen. Okay, and that will be like a conditional element. Okay, you will be it will be like a group of elements, like the table that you can add like different elements, but you will be able to add a condition there. So only display the content of this element if this value equals 2, for example. Okay, so with that you will be able to create your own user management system without programming. Okay, well, maybe you need to program in the server side, right? But you will be able to create a login screen with 2 text fields, okay? And then click on login, then send that data with a request, and depending on the returning value, you can go to a member area or you can go to an error screen. Okay, so that's something you will be able to do, like not really far from now. Okay. Okay, let's see the next question. Do you have any recommendations for app management, keeping track of all your um mm, well, you know that MovingKeep you can add comments to every single version, but I would say that maybe you should keep track on some Excel sheet or something like that. Maybe you can customize the content in a way that you can understand. I mean the most appropriate for yourself. Okay, because you can customize that. Well, I said that we are also working on a new interface. Okay, it's going to be awesome, I promise. Okay, much more intuitive than now, everything in the same place. Yeah, and we will also offer some new things regarding app management. Okay, so yeah, it will be much better now. Okay, so okay, let's keep on questions if you have more. Or if not, well, I can. Well, I have time. Maybe it's late for you, but I can still work on the advanced search. So I think it's better if I create a new screen instead of putting that on a view. But okay, let's try advanced search. Detail. Let's add some table. I know I don't need to make it nice now. This is only an example, but I can't avoid adding margins. I hate apps without a margin. Okay, let's select type. Okay, we can have a table. Okay, and this is going to be lagger. And this will have the action set var dot type equal lagger. Then width. Oh, what happened here? Oh, I don't know. I don't know why. Something happened, but it's not important. Width, and maybe next one can be IPA. Small set IPA. Okay, I can do this like a type selector, but I can add more things. Okay, like for example, name example, and then add a text field, bar dot search name, for example, is going to be the name. Okay. Let me check if there are questions. Okay, you have to go. Okay, Tony, it was a pleasure. Oh, you're not here anymore. Okay, but yeah, if you see the video, nice to see you again. And then finally, one OK button. Okay. And let's use some background. Okay, and this button will go to screen, main screen. Okay. Then let's go to main screen. And then we need another filter. I guess we can use an AND filter or an OR filter. I guess we need an AND, so we will add another filter, and the condition will be name include bar dot search name. Okay. And you can use more columns. I mean, in that screen with the advanced search, you can add like a text field for each one of the values or each one of the columns, right? So we just need to add one bar. And let's make it quick. A table with maybe yellow, amber color. And well, it's going to be big, but no problem. And we need to select a picture, and I have this picture. Yeah, it's too big. But well, if they click on this picture, I want to go to screen advanced search. Okay. Let's make it smaller. Okay. So yeah, that's it. Let's try to publish. Okay. Again, it's going to take some minutes, but now I don't have more things to explain what it's in published. But I can check if you have questions. Okay. So well, this is what I did for an advanced search. Only an example, but you can think of you can combine or conditions in the filter with or and and. Okay, so you can create your own advanced filters. Okay. Yeah. So well, basically this is all that we wanted to explain today. How to start creating like interactive things. Okay. Again, it will be much more advanced in the future. Basically, not every week, but probably every 2 weeks, we are going to add new features that will. I mean, we will, as I said in the beginning, we will take the same example that today, this Beerpedia, okay? And for the next webinars with the next functionalities, we will keep working on this example. Okay, the idea is that maybe by the end of this year, we will be able to have this super app where not only I can offer a large database of beers, but I want to create something that allows users to insert new beers in the database and even make a review for that beer, uh, share the note with everyone. So maybe I can show the average note from all users. So that's even more useful, right? You can have your own personal notes in order to remember if you like this beer, but you will be able also to know if people like that beer, okay? And you will be able to add comments or even take a picture of the beer. I mean, if you upload a new beer to the database, you will be able to take a picture from your phone inside the app and send that picture to the server, okay? So that's our ideal target. I mean, our mission for this year is let you create those type of apps, okay? And we will see, this is going to be a series of webinars, okay? And it's going to be amazing, okay? And if you can create those type of apps with MovingCube, then you will be able to make much more money, okay? Because if you create apps for offering content right now, I mean, you can make a lot of money with that. There's people making like $5,000 a month with this type of apps. The thing is that if you only give a tutorial, when people read the tutorial and they learn, then they install the app, okay? But if you create this type of new apps where people can open the app every week to check beers, add comments, get updates, okay, they will keep using the app, okay? So you will get much more impressions. Your app will be really recurrent, okay? So yeah, so you will make much more money from one single download than today, okay? So any questions? I guess we need 1 more minute or so to try the app. And if you have, mm, okay, it's ready. Let's, oh, I have, sorry. Download again the last version for this webinar. Replace file. Almost there. 85%, 91. Okay. Well, I made it fast. I didn't check anything, so I hope it works. Open. Well, no results. I click here on the filter. I go to this screen. I'm going to select, oh, sorry. I don't know. No, I don't have ads, but it still goes to this screen. This is quite, I guess maybe I have some virus in my phone. Okay, so I can select lager. If I click OK, since I haven't entered a name, I'm not sure if this will work. No, I don't get results because I didn't enter anything. So I guess I can write an A. Oh, that's funny. Well, maybe I don't have any beer, which is lager and has an A. Yeah, I should have Carlsberg. Oh, let's try with wheat and A. No, I'm not getting the thing. Maybe I did something wrong, but anyway, this is the way it should work. Okay, I guess I didn't check if the name of the variable was the correct one, but yeah, right. Somehow it didn't store the name. You have to press enter, I think, in order. And if you see it here, then that means that it's saved. Okay, I guess somehow it didn't save the reference name. Okay, so yeah, it should work now. I'm not going to republish, but you can make an idea of how it works, right? Yeah, so yeah, this is it, I guess. It's been almost 1 hour and a half. I guess that's enough for today, unless you have questions. I can stay here for half an hour if you need. Okay, but I think I explained everything that I was supposed to explain today. And I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you see the potential. Maybe you still need some new features to create the app that you have in mind, but at least you can start trying this and start doing some cool things. Okay. And well, thanks a lot, you guys, for being here today. And yeah, I hope to see you in the next webinar. Okay. Well, again, any questions, or should we say goodbye? Okay, I guess no more questions. Perfect. Then I'm a good teacher, I guess. So yeah, again, see you in the next webinar. Bye-bye.